Okay, today's focus is the poem The Eagle, the shortest poem that we have in our anthology. As well as most of the students, they consider this poem as an insignificant one since it is very small. But in my point of view, this is a good selection that we can obtain a good mark when we are writing the essay as well as in the context part. Okay, we shall go through the poem. Now, at the beginning, you see the poem is begun like this. He clasps the crag with crooked hands. Now you see, the writer uses the pronoun he. We call this literary device as, what is it? It is personification. The bird eagle has been taken as a man here. And the writer carefully selects the gender. Why didn't he select the pronoun she in the feminine gender? Now we know that the eagle is very powerful, rough, tough and majestic character. Generally, roughness and toughness, these are considered as masculine features, aren't they? අපි පිරිමි ලක්ෂණ හැටියට ගන්න රළු පරළු දැඩි. Therefore, to mention the eagle, he is the most appropriate pronoun. He clasps. Now you see, the writer uses the simple present tense. And why? Now we know simple present tense always brings out, always describes the actions that we do as the habits, as well as the general truths, something permanent. Hence, the reader is having an idea that the eagle's habitual action is this, isn't it? This is the eagle's habitual action. As a habit, eagle clasps the crag with its crooked hands. Now the hands are crooked. Again, we see something peculiar, don't we? අමුතු යමක් අපිට දකින්න හම්බ වෙනවා. Peculiar, අමුතු, can also say odd, something odd, queer. මොකක්ද අමුතු දේ? The eagle is having crooked hands. Now, these hands means the talons or the claws of the bird. Bird කෙනෙකුට අපි කියන්නේ නෑ hands තියෙනවා කියලා. We say either talons or claws. නියපඳුරු මේ කියන්නේ නේද? නියපඳුරු. Those are crooked ones. Now, this is also pretty much important. It emphasizes that the eagle's grip is such a tough one. Just imagine crooked hand. නිකන් වකුටු අතකින් අල්ලගත්තාම ඒකේ ග්‍රහණය කොහොමද? Is it easy to get rid of it? No. Right? Therefore, the eagle's grip is very tough one and it's not much easy to get rid of it. In order to emphasize it, the writer uses crooked hands. The epithet crooked had been used here to highlight this idea. Okay, he claps the crag with crooked hands, claws to the sun in lonely lands. Now this could be taken as a hyperbole, isn't it? Hyperbole එකක් අපිට හම්බ වෙනවා. In Sinhala we call it as අතිශයෝක්තිය. Claws to the sun. Everyone knows that no one can reach up to the sun. ඉරට ලං වෙන්න බැහැනේ. But this eagle perched somewhere close to the sun. It emphasizes that this bird is unreachable. That means inaccessible. No one can get close to the eagle. No one can exceed it. No one can beat it. Therefore, the eagle is unbeatable, inimitable, as well as uncontrollable. All these aspects are highlighted in this hyperbole. And then it says that ringed with the azure world he stands. Azure means the deep blue color. This word must have been pronounced as azure. Azure. Azure world. Azure means the deep blue color. Hence, it emphasizes that the bird sees everywhere in the same blue color. The sky above him as well as the sea beneath him, both the areas are seen in the same blue color. Hence, in my point of view, it shows us the equality of the bird. Samanatmatav. The bird treats everywhere in the same way. Okay, this is very easy, isn't it? It's pretty easy to identify. Alfred Lord Tennyson, he saw a bird, an eagle, perched on a crag, and having this image in his mind, he composed it. Hi, second stanza එක බලමු. In the first stanza, you can understand the writer brings out the majesty of this bird. Now, when we come to the second stanza, the wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. The wrinkled sea, wrinkled කියන්නේ රැලි වැටුණු. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. බඩ ගන්නවා. Therefore, we can understand that the mighty sea is also feeble in front of the power of the bird. He watches from his mountain walls. Now, it shows that the mountain walls belong to the bird eagle. Again, it highlights the superiority of the bird. And like a thunderbolt, he falls. Now, you see, it is a simile, like a thunderbolt. Apunu sarak wage. Now, it emphasizes the swiftness as well as the destructive power of this bird. In my point of view, the bird eagle could not be taken as a mere description of a bird. කාටද එහෙම හිතෙනව නේද? මේක නිකම්ම bird කෙනෙක්ගේ චරිතය ගැන කරපු විග්‍රහයක් වාගේ. For a moment, that is true, but on the other hand, we can say this is a description of the nature of nature. The eagle symbolizes nature, and in my point of view, this is a very, very simple poem. Now, let's see what sort of context questions that we expect from this poem. හරිම ලේසි. Context questions වලදී නිතරම අහන්නේ එකම විදිහේ ප්‍රශ්න මේ poem එකේ. For example, it is always asked who is referred to as he. නිතරම අහන එකක්. Who is referred to as he? He is referred to as the eagle. Where is he at the moment? මේ මොහොතේ යා කොතන ඉන්නවාද? He is on the top of a mountain or the top of a crag or on a very higher position. අයහන් පුළුවන් what are the characteristics of the bird highlighted here? Now that depends on the given quotation. For example, let's say you have been given the quotation and like a thunderbolt he falls. ඒක නම් දුන්නේ ඒ quotation එකට අනුව අපිට කියන්න පුළුවනි the swiftness of the bird. Oh, you can also say the destructive nature of the bird. If you have been given claws to the sun in lonely lands, එතනදී මොන characteristics the bird ගේ පේන්නේ? We can say claws to the sun in lonely lands, the unreachability of the bird, the supremacy of the bird, or the inimitable characteristics of the bird. ඔය වාගේ දීපු quotation එකට ගැලපෙන අපිට characteristic එක identify කරන්න පුළුවනි. Context questions හරිම පොඩි සීමාවක තමයි අපිට මේකේ අහන්න පුළුවනි. ඒක නිසා the eagle poem එකෙන් එන context question එකක් හරිම ලේසි. Then what are the things that you should focus when you are writing an essay? මේකෙන් essay එකක් ලියන එක බැලු බැලමට නිකන් කරුණු මදි වාගේ අපිට හිතුණත් දැන් අර අපි උඩින් කියපු quotation එකත් අරගෙන අහලා දෙන ප්‍රශ්නට අනුරූපීව අපි highlight කරගත්තොත් අපිට ලේසි essay එකක් ලියන්න පුළුවනි. Now when you are writing an essay, you have to focus mainly upon three things. කාරණා තුනක් අපි consider කරනවා. Number one is the approach of your answer. අපි උත්තරයට approach කරන විදිය. The way that you start it. කොහොමද පටන් ගන්නෙ? If you start like this, the poem The Eagle was composed by other veteran British writer Alfred Lord Tennyson. Technically your approach is correct. But it is not much creative, is it? ඒක creative නෑ කියලා අපිට හිතෙනවා. It looks like a report. ඒ නිසා ටිකක් හැබැයි ගැළපෙන විදිහේ නමුත් වඩා නිර්මාණශීලී ආරම්භයක් ගත්තොත් මම හිතන්නේ අපිට වැඩි ලකුණක් උපයා ගන්න අවස්ථාවක් හම්බ වෙනවා. අපි උදාහරණ කීපයක් එක්කම බලමු. Then the body of the answer. ඊළඟ වැදගත්ම කාරණය the body of the answer. No. In the body of the answer we build up the logic. අපි තර්කය ගොඩනගන තැන. Then the conclusion. ඊළඟට අපි අවසාන නිගමනය. ඔන්න ඔය parts තුන තමයි essay එකකදී mainly consider කරන්න ඕන කාරණා. We shall take an example from the poem. අපි මෙහෙම නිකන් බලමු මෙන්න මේ වගේ උදාහරණයක් හැටියට එන ප්‍රශ්නයක්. හරි. අපි ගමු the poem The Eagle is not a mere description of a bird. Give your views. The poem The Eagle is not a mere description of a bird. Give your views. This is the question. දැන් අපි මේකට approach කරන්නේ කොහොමද? අපේ උත්තරේ පටන් ගන්නෙ කොහොමද නේද? අපි කෙලින්ම පටන් ගන්නේ නෑ the poem The Eagle was written by that person blah 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 blah. Right? indeed we have write 1-2 lines regarding the writer in our introduction part. That is okay, but at the very beginning if you start like this, it seems not much appropriate. මට හිතෙනවා ඒ තරම්ම ගැලපෙන්නේ නෑ වගේ කියලා. දැන් අපෙන් අහන්නේ question එක, the poem The Eagle is not a mere description of a bird. අපිට ඒකම address කරලා approach එකක් හදාගන්න පුළුවනි. We can start like this. The poem The Eagle brings out the majesty of nature. It was composed by the veteran British writer Alfred Lord Tennyson, and Tennyson was that person, and the structure of the poem is like that, and so we can continue. ඔන්න අපි ලස්සන approach එකක් හදාගත්තා. Then the body of the answer. අපි මේක ඇතුලේ තමයි answer එක පෙළ ගස්වන්නේ. අපේ උත්තර ටික පෙළ ගස්වන්නේ. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම අපි කියනවා yes. For a moment we agree that this is a description of a bird, and we can take the examples to show that what sort of a bird is it, how inimitable it was, and the supremacy of the bird, the authoritative power of the bird. ඔය ටික අපි එක paragraph එකකින් examples එක highlight කරමු. ඊළඟ paragraph එකේදී අපි කියනවා yes, these are the characteristics of a bird, that is true, but at the same time we find some other aspects too. අපි තවත් ලක්ෂණ දකිනවා. These are the characteristics of nature. Nature is like eagle. It is there in a very higher position that normal people can't, no other people actually, not normal, no other person can reach at, no one can control. It is there in a very higher position and it observes everyone, it controls everyone. Therefore, here the eagle is a symbol of nature. That is our third paragraph. And when we come to the conclusion, we can say, in the conclusion, you are not expected to give the gist of what you have discussed about, because it has already been given now. In the conclusion, you can say that following the facts that we discuss about, we can come into this conclusion. What is that? The eagle is not a mere description of a bird, but at the same time it brings out the characteristics as well as the majesty of nature. කොච්චර සරලද? දැන් මේ විදිහේ උත්තරයක් grammar හරියටම පාවිච්චි කරලා, spellings වරද්දන්නේ නැතුව ලියලා, quotations ගැලපෙන තැන්වලදී අරගෙන අපි compose කළොත් ලකුණු 15න් අඩුම 13කට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක නිසා the eagle කියන්නේ හොඳ selection එකක්. මොනවා හරි දෙයක් තේරුනේ නැත්නම් comment section එකේ අහන්න සහ මතක ඇතුවම channel එක subscribe කරන්න, bell button එක ඔබන්න. හැම සතියකම අලුත් පාඩමක් එක්ක හම්බ